Yeah, the Sunday night matchup featuring two AFC division leaders, the 11-1 Steelers visiting the 9-3 Bills. That means Roethlisberger versus Allen. Josh Allen's got 3 games this season with 4 passing touchdowns. That's third most in the league going into this Week 14 matchup. Our Diana Rossini joins us now from Orchard Park, New York. And Diana, you had a chance to sit down with Josh Allen yesterday. What did he share in terms of how he's approaching this game?
Yeah, yesterday we had a conversation about how accurate he's been, because you take a look at his numbers and his completion percentage has gone up 11% from this year to last year and 17% from his rookie season. He is on top of his game right now. He says he's just reading the defenses better. It's all experience. And we actually talked about that 2018 draft. And Michael, I don't know if you remember, but coming out of the draft, the comparison that everyone was making to Josh Allen was Ben Roethlisberger, the other quarterback we're going to see out on the field. So I asked Josh, why do you think everybody compares you to Big Ben?
I'd like to say he's got a better beard than me, but I think, the crappy beards played a part into it. But I think just in stature and play style, we resemble a little bit of each other. And, in my opinion, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just always appreciating what he does for his team and how he plays the game and the willingness to put his body on the line for his team. And that's something that I think, we both do very well.
You were spectacular against the 49ers. Brian Daboll said he saw it in your eyes. He just knew you were in the zone. So what do you do the last few days to get ready for the Steelers to try to emulate what you did on Monday?
That's the question I've been trying to answer myself, too. And I just had supreme confidence that night. And it was because it was a night game. It was a Monday night game. And energy was a little higher. But I'm trying to take the same routine as I did last week. I'm not trying to make it bigger than what it needs to be. Just, it's another game. It's our next game, so it's our most important game, and it's a chance to get to win number 10 on the season. Batted balls, a lot of disrupted throws that result in turnovers and interceptions. So getting the ball out quick, obviously taking care of number 90 and 97 because, those two players are game wreckers. And then in the back end, you got a guy like Micah Fitzpatrick who's been, playing as one of the best safeties in the league, and, he's playing extremely good football right now, and we got to keep it away from those guys.
You having fun right now?
Having a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a blast playing right now.
Certainly a lot more fun when you're winning games, right? Well, the Bills, they've been winning. They've been playing really well. The Steelers having a great season. Of course, we saw that undefeated season snap last Monday against the Washington football team. So what was this week like as they prepare for the Buffalo Bills? Well, on Friday, Coach Mike Tomlin had this team in full pads. It's mid-December. No NFL team around the league right now is practicing in pads. Tomlin is so tired of standing up there on the podium, standing in front of his players saying, we got to do better. So instead of just talking about it, they were out on the field. And the goal here is to improve the run game, something that really seems like it's been lost over the last few weeks, Michael.
Yeah, Pittsburgh trying not to become the 5th team to ever lose back-to-back games after starting the season 11-0. or better. We see what happens tonight. Diana Rossini there in Orchard Park. Appreciate it. Are you still ahead on
Steelers? Man, they've had a very interesting week, which has been really a series of odd weeks for the Steelers throughout this season.
Yeah, and it seems that the weight has really been lifted off their shoulders after their undefeated season came to an end. I talked to some players about it this past week, and, I had one player put it this way. He said, this is what happens sometimes. When you win and you go undefeated, and Teddy, you know what I'm talking about here, sometimes the flaws are camouflaged. So you take a look at the film, and you don't really pay attention to the detail, but after a loss, you are zoned in on making those improvements, and that's what the focus was this past week. In fact, guys, this was really unusual when I heard this. Mike Tomlin had the Steelers out at practice on Friday in pads. It's mid-December. You don't hear a lot of teams in pads this time of year, especially on a Friday. They are tired of talking about how they need to be better. They want to start playing better, so they were out there. But this also means that they're healthy, right? Because he's not going to put them out there if they're banged up. And, of course, the return of James Conner, center Marquise Pouncey, and Vance McDonald is going to help this run game that really seems lost over the last few weeks and perhaps could return today against this Bills team, Sam.
Yeah, Diana, full pads on a Friday. Look, everything in 2020 is weird. These guys are getting used to making adjustments. They fly to the game today, the day of a game. That's abnormal. But, Rex, what do you really think the difference in today's game will be?
Well, I think after listening to Diana's report there, I'm excited if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I'm going to tell you why. All these short passes, spread them out, short pass and all that. Hey, that's just like our running game. The hell it is. It's not. And now that's why I question this football team. But with Mike Tomlin, he recognizes, look, Mike Tomlin is an old school coach at heart.
Great.
And so to me, this is a great thing that he's doing. If you're going to beat the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to tell you what you have to do. You have to run the football. In all three of their losses that they've had, they're averaging giving up 200 yards a game on the ground. That's how you keep Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs and company on the sideline. Run the football, Pittsburgh. That's who you really are. Get out of those other things, please.
And that's why you put on pads on Friday. You got your starting center back in Marquise Pouncey. You get your running back in James Conner, where we need to practice what we're going to be. Mike T's great. He knows what time of year it is, and he knows that if we can't gain 1 yard, we're not going to win a championship, because not only am I trying to throw the ball to make up for it, we got to have receivers that can be reliable.
You know, and speaking of the wide receivers for the Pittsburgh Steelers and reliability, you know, have they been able to be relied on in the past couple of weeks? I remember I put a tape together talking about the Yak Boys because of what they did together collectively. But as of lately, man, leading the National Football League, 31 drops as a receiving core.
31.
And Deontay Johnson leads the league in drops. Right there, it just showed you Johnson. There you seeing Ebron. Man, I'm great to show you Schuster, Claypool. The pass catchers for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in order to come up big in this game tonight, they're going to have to not live in the past. There's a reason why you put pads on Friday. Man, stop reading your own press clippings. I know I'm looking at my head coach talking about, man, pads on Friday? Hey, coach, we got a game in 48 hours. But when, like you said, you have an old school coach in Mike Tomlin. They let a great opportunity slip by, still having that undefeated season. So, to me, putting pads on Friday, hey, man, stop reading your press clippings. Let's get back to some Pittsburgh Steelers playing football, and I think they will tonight.
Yeah, when the ball comes your way, you got to catch it. And the same thing could be said for the guys up front. When it's a running situation, it's not just running the ball, Rex. It's running the ball when they know that you're going to run the ball. And that's what the great teams do, and that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done for a long time. But I think it's going to be a lot tougher than it's been for them the last couple of weeks going up against Buffalo. And part of the reason is that Buffalo's getting healthy. Talk about how great their offense has been. Number one on third down, great in the red zone. The defense hasn't been as good as they've been in the past, right? But this year, they're getting healthy now. They've got Tremaine Edmonds coming back, Matt Milano. When Matt Milano plays for these guys, they're 6-0. When he doesn't play, they're 3-3. And so I think that, like I said earlier, the secondary is going to look better as they get healthier in that front seven.
And just real quick on the Steeler defense, they're not getting healthy. They're slowly dwindling to where they're second and third guys. I mean, Spillane's out, Dupree. I mean, all of these, if Hayden's out with the concussion, you need the running game now to help the unit that's been carrying you